welcome to our Wednesday, September the 8th, monthly park board meeting. Madison, we have a quorum. Do I have approval, do I have a motion for the approval of claims and minutes from the August 2021 meeting?
So moved.
Have a second?
A second.
Any discussion? Any addition? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Golf report.
All right, golf report. I had one addition to what you all have in front of you. First, just the upcoming events that we have. Scramble on Friday the 10th for a fundraiser for the mayor. Girls sectionals golf, IHSA girls sectional golf on 9/18. And then followed on that following Sunday, the backward scramble. That was presented by the Friends of Sunrise to give them some funds into the capital improvement project. And then at the end of the month, Madison baseball scramble will be on the 25th. Couple things, big thing, kind of skipping down to number 2 there, or number 3. Golf Now, we went live on Golf Now on September 1st. The Monday of that week, we began training on their G1 software system for our point of sale, specifically built for golf, but it's going to help us tracking rounds, booking tee times, things like that, as well as all the inventory, merchandise, and food and beverage in the shop. So it's been a pretty good training week, trying to get everybody up to speed, a few little glitches here and there, but they've got 24/7 customer service support that we can still lean on to help get all the kinks ironed out. And one of those, just to kind of explain to you, just happened when I was on my way down here. The inventory we have online, they still had us set up for having tee times available on Mondays before 11. We're closed every Monday for maintenance practices till 11. So I was on the phone sitting here waiting with you guys, contacting their team to get their inventory specialists to get that taken down. So within 24 hours, we can resolve issues like that with their support team. Besides, any software issues with the point of sale. So it's really a one-stop shop, and we can call in. They're pretty good about helping us get through those things. The website, I was wanting to get the website going live with everything else with G1 and Golf Now. We're still waiting on some of the build out on the website. The folks that were taking some of the, what was their names?
Prince Brian filmmaking.
There you go. They're working on a lot of, they did the drone footage of the course, but they're also doing some of the artwork on the logo and the course layout. So that little bit of content is going to go into the website, and then that's ready to go live too. So about 90% build out is what I estimated on the website. Along with that, I also constructed we talked about the URL, Sunrise Falls GC. I used that to create a new Facebook page. Downloaded pretty much all of the drone footage that we had. Also going to do promotions on there. I've already posted future events for the events we spoke about. So hopefully better lines of communication, with the citizens of Madison, and also tourists coming in will be able to more readily be able to find us and come out and enjoy the facilities too. The one addition I had, and this is kind of be a challenge, once again trying to recruit play from outside of the area to come into play. It's called a Tee Time Pass book. And I don't know if any of you all are familiar with this, but they sell these at trade shows over the winter. The golf courses will sell them, but it gives discounts to play and travel. So there's going to be 200 different golf courses, and they buy them per region. I had a sales rep was trying to meet with me, this morning. Didn't realize I'd switched golf courses. So he contacted me down here, and it was, his proposal, and the way it works is they originally asked for a free round of golf, at each facility. I'd kind of changed that at my, last facility and said that's a little too rich. We're gonna get, a cart fee out of each player for that one-time play. Now, besides that one-time play, there's 3 other offerings which encourages him to bring extra people at a discounted rate. So I don't know if, how we can, they said they need to go to print in 3 weeks. That's gonna be a challenge for us for me to get you this information and present it, but it's still another tool to bring in outside play. What I've seen at my previous golf course was traveling groups might be anywhere from, 8 guys up to 20 or 24 guys will travel and play different golf courses around their region. They're all bring me this book. It'd be a discounted rate. They suggested going below our current, senior rate at $28. What I found is that most of these guys qualify for that senior rate anyway. So he was suggesting a teaser to come in at 23 or 25, but I was gonna discuss this with my golf committee. I didn't know if we'd be able to get back to you and be able to hit their print deadline date. So, just wanted to bring it up to you all, get your thoughts on it. What do you think?
Is that a one-time?
We
thing,
can,
or is that-
and we can manipulate these coupons. The, free play is a one-time play.
Okay.
I can offer, packages like a pay for 4, get 3, and I can have them redeemable for each of these coupons, redeemable once, twice, 4 times.
So whatever you.
We can kind of build it like we
Okay.
want to. The other one was a senior special, that was a $25. The 4 for 3, that would kind of stay inside of my constraints is what we're offering now. And a weekday 29. Now these would be, available to younger people too, so they sell these books. And typically another thing they do to offset the, free rate is they'll give me 15 to 20 books to sell at retail. And we can sell them out of the pro shop. And, if we can't sell all of them here, I've got guys that will buy them up 5, 6 at a time. They're $45 a piece. So there is some revenue up front that will be involved in this. But it was something I wanted to bring your attention, and I don't know if we'll be able to pull it off in such a short time frame with their deadlines to print the book.
This is annual, right? So if we
Yes.
can't do it, this would be something we talk and look
Yes.
at for the
Yeah, this is a
23.
Yes,
Book.
this is what they want to do with us for 2022. We can come around and cancel the whole thing, modify the packages, do whatever we want to for 2023.
When's your next, your golf board meeting?
We are not going to be able to meet next week, so we push it back 1 more week. But we're going to try to meet just before this meeting so we can have some more relevant information. We're not going to have to wait, 3 weeks to
Yeah.
get something approved.
So I bought one of those books like that a few years ago.
Yeah.
I would never have played some of the courses,
Yeah.
but I did because it had the opportunity, and it was me and my dad.
Right.
I think that they're very valuable for getting more people in.
Right.
I do like the idea of they pay the car fees,
Right.
and we give them that round, but and it's, the ones we saw were like up to how many people at that time only. I think it's very valuable if you really wanna bring people in for outside the community. So we just toured around one summer and
Right.
played a course every weekend.
Right. Any other questions on it?
I think that sounds great.
Yeah, this is news to Matt too, I'm sorry, I think you just called me this afternoon. Do you have any questions?
No, I was just gonna ask, how much traffic would you normally get from that
That was
at
gonna be
your
my question,
other
too.
place?
He estimated, and he was using some other facilities in the area. Henry County, he said they do really well with. He said they probably produce 200 to 300 rounds for them from the Louisville market, people, traveling around.
Yeah.
I was excited because it was people from outside of Jefferson County, which is kind of what I was shooting for, to market for, bring some other people's money into our
We can
into
get
our
enough
coffers.
tourism people coming in, I think that'd be a great thing to have. Would
Yeah.
you suggest if we were to do that, because typically if it's gonna be from out of town, it's gonna be on the weekend, so then would you suggest doing that as only an afternoon offering, would that be an all-day thing?
I'm not so sure I saw more of these books coming in on weekdays. It's,
Oh, really?
it's retired
Okay.
citizens or retired seniors.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah, same thing, yeah. That's
Yeah.
why we did in the summer. I was an educator, so I was having more time. My dad was retired.
Okay.
And if any of these are available, like the 4 for 3, that would be the only one that I'd allow them to use on the weekend. So I would still have the intent to protect our weekend rates and
I like
just
it.
try to use up weekday stuff.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Have the Golf Now, have we started using that for their rounds?
Yes.
Are people booking the round
Saturday,
three?
yeah, Saturday we sold, and I'm not sure Labor Day is a good barometer, because it's typically cookouts and lake and people are doing the other thing. It's a slower weekend from all of our other weekends. We did sell 3 tee times that were trade times or hot deals. Now out of those, we still get a third of those rates. I asked one guy what he paid for his hot deal, and he said $33. So I was happy with that. I told them to set a floor of 25 on any hot deals, but they haven't gotten close to that at all yet. I've been monitoring, and every other day I'll get on Golf Now and make sure. And it took me a couple days to get the structure that I wanted to, decreasing. And I set it up to where basically I reduced it $2. Most expensive price is 9 a.m. By the time we get to 2 p.m., it's the same as our twilight rate on both weekends and weekdays. So hopefully we'll have to go below that to get some play out of that. But right now I have started seeing some some action on Golf Now. Any other questions about Golf Now too? That was one thing Matt wanted me to make sure you guys are comfortable with that or understood how all that worked.
From what I hear, anything outside the community, that's the way to go, because that's how
Yeah,
people.
and I'll just give you a quick little, I just searched on here real quick.
That's how
Madison,
people find us.
you're familiar with Golf Now, which thought you've used it. Okay. If you wanna take a look, so other places that use it, Champions Point, River Chase, Belterra. If you click on Sunrise, you can just kind of play with that for a second. You can see all the different offerings that we have and how interactive and easy that is to use. So I do think that's something that's very beneficial for anybody, whether they are a local person or someone traveling, just to make us more accessible, easier to find, especially without our lack of internet presence lately. But that's something obviously that Roger hit on, we're gonna be changing here very quickly. I think this will really kind of accelerate us with our volume.
Matt, this, I guess, could involve you, could not. Is there a chance we can get the sheet on the golf course that we were getting every month at the end of the year into January, February? Because we haven't seen one of those in
Yeah, like
quite
an
a few-
annualized.
like I would,
Yep.
yeah, just actually the same information there that we used to get.
I'll email you something tomorrow. It'll be a year-to-date through
Okay.
August.
All right, that would be great.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Settled in and kind of,
Yeah, well, it's still looking for staff. If you know anybody who wants to cook, please give me a call. That's been a challenge. We had somebody that I really liked, was very qualified. She ended up going back to her current employer and kind of leveraging us against them and got more money out of them. It's a sign of the times. The new Facebook page that I put together, I put out an ad for a cook on that. Got one hit already. Like Matt said, I'm not sure that we're going to have to reevaluate the pay scale on that to get somebody to, of the skills that we need and somebody that's going to stay with us. Seems like an industry where people hop around a lot, so I'm not real used to that. Most of my staff, stays with me for a while, so it's been a challenge to try to get the cook and operation set up, but that is one of our higher priorities to get that kitchen going. I know that's a lot of lost revenue that we should be capitalizing on. And if we can't get it going now, we were talking about this, it should help with the seasonality, because I'm hesitant to hire anybody into the golf section right now
Right.
because in 2 months, we're gonna be,
Yeah.
you know, tell them to,
Yeah.
you know, stay home. So hopefully if we can get the kitchen going, it might help with some of the seasonality of the business. Any other questions?
Okay.
Thanks, Roger.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Program report, Katie.
Hi.
Hello.
So, with our youth volleyball teams, we have had 56 girls and boys sign up. We have like 2 or 3 boys, I think, in
Good.
the league, which is really cool. But that's 13 more than from 2020. Practice will begin in 2 weeks with the games starting in early October, and they'll be at the Brown Gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays. With tackle football, we have 17 boys for our 3rd and 4th grade team, and 29 for our 5th and 6th grade team. They currently practice throughout the week, and they play their games on Saturdays as part of the HHC League. Bless you. We have hosted 1 weekend, and then we host 3 more, which is this weekend, the 25th and the 2nd of October. For flag football, we have 45 signed up. They started on August 28th. It's only on Saturdays at the Madison High School football field. We want to say thank you to Coach Wilson and his staff and players for their help in revitalizing this league and making it a success. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. For youth cheerleading, we have 17 of them signed up. They actually cheered at their first game 2 weekends ago, and they had a bowl, and they loved it, and they'll be there again this weekend. With women's softball, registration was open on Rec Desk from April 28th to June 4th for $30, but only 2 participants signed up. So we have since reopened the registration online and changed it to requested team format, but no additional participants have signed up for it. And then this Saturday, we have a cornhole tournament at Johnson Lake at noon, and we are welcoming all to participate. That's all I have.
Did we ever get back with Michelle Ward on women's softball?
I believe Chad reached out to her, just to let her know that we did have that reopened, because after that, meeting, we did it within the next day or 2. And that's why I just kind of put that in there, because I knew we had it open, at some point, but we did do an individual format as opposed to the team. So now we have balked on that and gone back to just the team format.
Yeah.
So we've had a couple people messaging our Facebook, our park department Facebook, asking questions about it, but nobody has taken the bait yet and actually signed up. So we hope to still be able to have that here at Kiwanis this year.
What time does the flag start on Saturday mornings?
Usually about 9 or 11. Past weekends it's been 9, but this weekend it'll be at 1. There are a couple weekends where it'll be at 1, but most of the time it will be at 9.
Okay.
Home soccer moves it.
Huh?
Home soccer sometimes moves
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was. That's what I was asking. But I thought I'd like to go watch something. Good.
Okay. That's it. Thanks, Katie. Okay. Parks Director. John Soms.
Good evening, board. I'm gonna pick up where Roger left off on golf course. He hit on pretty much everything. Just wanted to state one thing. With our rounds played this past month, we are seeing a slight decrease now as we start to get a little bit colder weather, but we are seeing a little bit better discrepancy between our paid versus our seasonal pass rounds. So this past month, we looked at 37% were paid as opposed to 63% non-paid. And that was something that last year was a big question mark for us, considering we were 3/4 season pass players. And we know a lot of that had to do with COVID, but seeing that kind of transition already is something that we really are happy to see, and we think that's only going to progress as golf now gets going. So Roger hit on staffing at the golf course. We do need people in terms of cooks and working in the clubhouse up there, doing that, prepping the food. But we do need to look at maintenance. So we've had a couple of people that have applied and everything. We are losing Brent Copeland. He is going to be moving to the street department. That is kind of already been effective, but Tony is being favorable of us and kind of keeping him up there while we're short-staffed. So we are looking for people right now that can work there. We did hire one person, but he only lasted a week due to the physical the nature of the labor. He wasn't able to continue that. So I have put a call in to someone else that we have offered the job to. He does have previous experience at a golf course. So we'll just wait and see. I've left them 2 voicemails, so hopefully we can get that person going pretty quickly. He hit on golf now. That's all going well. Golf board, like I said, that's going to meet here in just a couple of weeks. And then I'm just going to skip over all the revenue update stuff. And Tim, like I said, I'll get you the update spreadsheets with that. With our city campground, we saw 367 reservations this past month. That's 20 more than we saw in the month of July. Doug came into my office today and was saying that we're slowly picking up throughout the week. That's been one of our issues. The weekends really has been strong. We've been looking at about 75–80% capacity there, especially on our riverfront side. But now throughout the week, we're starting to pick up, and I think that does have a little bit to do with the cooler weather. We've got a lot of festivals coming up with our Soups Stew and Brew. Riverfest just happened, but Chautauqua, and those kind of things. So income during August was just north of $14,600, of which we profited a little over $10,000. And something else we have coming up will be the Halloween event here in late October. I believe this is going to be October 23rd. So we're going to do a partnership with Hannah Fagan, as they do. The city does a 29th.
29th, 30th, and 31st.
It is the 29th, 30th, and 31st. Thank you, Doug. We are.
Just to say that was an odd, I was looking at an odd day, I'm like.
Just think the 30th. 30th is the big night.
30th is the Saturday night, right?
30th is the big
30th is
night.
the Saturday night.
Like I said the first time, this is on the 30th.
There we go. Okay.
And we are partnering with Hannah Fagan, who is doing a citywide event that we typically do for our Halloween. So we're going to get the campground kind of all decorated, get some spiders, cobwebs, all that kind of stuff. We're going to get Doug all dressed up, and we're going to have some fun with it. So that's
I think this will be a positive thing, because my, I have an aunt, and I think I've said this, aunt and uncle that run a campground in eastern Kentucky, and it's been so big, they've expanded it into like three or four weekends,
really.
depending on it. So I think
Yeah, that's how.
it'll be a
Mhm.
it'll be a big
This
a
will
big
kind of be
deal.
our trial run with it, and I do
Yeah,
think that's something
it'll be great.
we can build with going forward. So we're very excited. Looking forward to having that going on. Crystal Beach Pool, I don't have any update for you on the construction there. Nicole Shell, she's been out for the past couple of weeks just with vacations. Yep, but I will get with her and our project manager on that, be able to give you guys an update for our next meeting. One thing that was something that was brought up, and this has been an area of concern, is the bathrooms down by Crystal Beach. That's there by the basketball courts. We have since power washed them, and we're working on painting them, trying to clean those up a little bit. Not sure if we'll keep those or what we're going to do exactly with them, but at the time we just need to tidy them up, get them a little bit cleaner and safer. For Rutgers Sports Complex, we actually heard back today on the Land and Water Conservation grant, and we unfortunately were not awarded that. They had about 25 applicants, and they were only expecting 17, of which they're going to award about 11. So it's just more money than they had anticipated to go around, and unfortunately we were not selected in that. But that does kind of work in our favor slightly with what we have going on with CABA, because we currently have 18 and under games going on Field 6 on Sundays. This is part of a bigger fall league that CABA is hosting with our tournament director, Nick Zone. And then on Tuesday nights, on Field 3, we've got a 13U league. Same kind of thing, a fall league that's going to be 5 or 6 weekends, weekdays here in the fall, and then this is going to kind of transition into next year, looking at a full 2022 partnership with CABA and having this full any and every weekend that we can. So thank you to Nick Tizone for all his help in getting all this going with CABA, and we're very excited to see where that's going to go. And then also to Mike Cosby, he did an excellent job getting the Field 6 ready. That's something that we haven't used all year long because we didn't have any of those games for our rec leagues, and so he spent an entire week getting that field back to where it should be, building up the mound, and really did an excellent job with that. And then for our youth stuff, our portable mounds, the kids are really enjoying being able to utilize those too. So that's all going very, very well. Something else that we had happen this past week or so, our senior center has finally reopened. We did this on the past Tuesday. It was fantastic that we had 23 seniors come out to support the reopening, as well as Mayor Courtney, we had Miss Brenda Eversole, Lifetime Resources were there. Chad, myself, Katie, all were able to make it there. Just had pizza, cake, had some water for them, Everybody got to kind of speak their mind and was so excited just to have the opportunity to be able to socialize. We stayed around for a little bit afterwards, and they ended up having a game of euchre between 12 or 16 of them go on for 3 or 4 hours. So they're very excited to do that. Brenda handed out a survey. We have received the results of that to see exactly what people want from the senior center. The main things that they're wanting is a place to socialize. If there's food, that's nice, but it's not the highest priority, and they really want their senior dances back. So we were meeting with Gary Hewitt to talk about what the capability of that is going to look like. The issue with it's typically been at the Brown Gym, and we're just concerned with the lift. When Dave Stucker was the parks director, he didn't allow them to use that anymore because they were using the lift to take the equipment up, and it was starting to break down. And that's roughly $1,000 an hour for this company to come out and try to fix that for us. So we're looking for alternatives at this time. So if you do have any suggestions on that. But now that it's starting to get colder, we've talked about doing maybe some evening things outside on Friday nights, but we'll see with weather dependent on that. It may unfortunately have to be at the Brown Gym, and we'll just have to supervise the equipment going up and then tearing down. But that is something that we want to get back up and going. And then our senior center at the moment is currently open on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then we may be opening on Mondays, just depending on what the need is and what how many people are going to be wanting to use that. But we are open currently from 10 to 3 on those 3 days. Some other stuff for our Parks and Rec desk. Our dog park, we're up to 150 season pass holders. That's 18 more that we had this month. Pickleball, a little update, we're at 60 total season pass holders. 15 of those have just a 6-month pass, whereas 45 have the entire 12-month. Basketball courts. So we've got 5 outdoor basketball courts within our park system. This is at Crystal Beach, Oak Hill, Gaines Park, Lorenz, and JC. Currently receiving quotes on what it's going to look like to repave all of those. Crystal Beach is the only one that's in fairly decent condition, and as you'll notice, that's pretty much the only place that you'll see kids playing on. The others have cracks all throughout, missing pieces of concrete, grass sprouting up throughout, and so that's something we'd like to look at as maybe a winter project of trying to get all of those reconditioned to where they're all appropriate level to play on safely. Jump Ball Park, so the damage that we received from the flood a couple months ago, we have received a few different quotes on that. Just waiting to hear back and go with the person that came in at 1/3 of the price. It's going to be the exact same condition of work with a higher grade of industrial steel for fencing, so it should last a little bit longer and not be as susceptible to the flood damage. But just waiting on timing for that, because right now everybody's kind of backed up when it comes to the supplies of that, and then there's a lot of people trying to get work like that done. But that is something that will be done in the off season, and then we're looking at doing a couple other quick hitters down at John Paul to try to restore that. And then last miscellaneous thing, tennis courts up at Shaw. We are getting those power washed in 2 weeks. Keith Leatherman is going to oversee that. He's currently on vacation right now. So when he gets back, that is something that Tony Sorrells has him on his to-do list as one of the first things. And then with our master plan, something that we talked about is we will look at some quotes as far as what it's going to take to redo those recondition acts. I know that's something that is desperately needed. And then the last thing that I had for you guys, something that Chad and I have been doing a little research on is him and I have decided we're going to attend the National Recreation and Park Association Conference. It's going to take place in Nashville, Tennessee here in just a couple of weeks. So we will be out of the office September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And this is a educational seminar that you get a list of 80 to 90 different informational settings that you can go attend just to be able to hear different speakers, their experiences, and everything like that. So I did a breakdown. We went through the list of everything. One of the cool things with this is it's kind of a hybrid event. So you could attend this virtually or you could attend it in person. We elected to do the in-person because you still get the option to watch things virtually. So of the 80 or so seminars, 42 of them have the virtual option that we will have access to through the end of the year. So even though we won't be watching those right then, we'll be able to go back and see all of those. So I kind of gave a breakdown on these 2 pages, the 13 courses that he's going to attend and the 14 that I'm going to attend. And we kind of tried to spread this out too, so that we're hitting on a little bit of everything throughout. So you see I get to focus on the advocacy, career development, customer service, leadership, and the revenue development. And Chad's gets to be a little bit of everything with aquatics, conservation, health and wellness, planning, design, maintenance, a bunch of programming, a good amount of public relations and marketing, and then revenue development. So I think this is going to be something that's going to be kind of eye-opening, just to be able to meet with 3,000 other park and recreation professionals and just kind of give us some new thoughts, new ideas of how other places are doing it, and try to spark some things that we can maybe bring back here. But that's something that we're really looking forward to. And with that, once we get all of the conferences passed, we get all our login information. If there's anything with those different courses and seminars that you guys would like to see that is a virtual one, or if it's one of them that's not virtual that we did attend, and you want to pick our brain about it, by all means, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we can get you access to it or give you our notes or whatever the case may be. But that's something I'm not sure who the last person would have been to attend one of these, but we just want to kind of utilize any sort of resource like this that we happen to come across. So very excited to go see how that works out. Or do you have any questions for me?
I don't.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we need approval of claims? We already did that, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're done.
Good.
So do I have our next board meeting will meet, will be Monday, October the 4th, going back to Monday nights. First Monday of the month at 6:30 here in City Hall. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Can I holler?
Oh, yes, sorry, Dave.
Didn't want to interrupt, I just want to brag on some things. I'm Dave Adams from down Mulberry Street, and nice to see the board. As a past city council member and clerk treasurer, I'm really glad to see the money kind of staying into some of the areas that we're using. I don't want to brag about Doug too much, but we spent 40 nights down there already. We've got another 10 nights coming up this weekend. We're going to be got the whole gang coming down for the Halloween, which is kind of exciting. We usually have the Adams Fleet golf carts down there. We've got three-seaters and all these others, so all our friends always come, and Doug's been very patient. Our grandson calls him Dougie, so it's we're on first name basis, but oh, come on. The software program is getting better. You know, we're one of the smallest ones down there. We're like only a 21, 23 footer. These guys are huge, and they're very nice, expensive RVs. I'm glad we're getting Wi-Fi. It kind of sucks when you get further down, as you all know. But that's the only way we can kind of get on and do things. The other is the rec desk. It's getting better, but I think the camping side of it kind of sucks a little bit. It's just, I know you're working on it, but just to get these 10 nights in this weekend, it took me about half an hour. I had to go in, come back, go in, come back, go down to this site, go down to this site. So it's not real friendly, I'm hoping, but the people that are doing the software say they're supposed to help with some things going on. It's always fun. You know, you talk about Halloween. We go to the state campgrounds. We've had over 800 kids coming in and walking around doing the trick or treating, which is really exciting. So we're kind of fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun on the river there. We got some great things going on. I just appreciate that. But, I can brag about them a little bit much, but him and Matt have been very helpful on coming in. I always have to check the software to make sure I'm still registered and other things. But it's really been good. So we appreciate all your good hard work on this, and keep it up.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. So is that something that we need to call Rec Desk about, as far as access for the campground and making it a little more user-friendly?
So I've been in contact with them because I've requested from the get-go to be one of their beta testers of anything that they want to try out. And they're looking for customers that want to try new features to please allow us that opportunity. And then I've been working with Sherry Estelle, who is our main contact with that, just giving her feedback on the things that we would like to see moving forward, because if some of these things aren't met, that we are going to look at other options, just simply because of things like that, just the accessibility and trying to make multiple nights, which Dave brought up as a perfect example.
And time, excuse me, I'm Doug. The big thing that I get down there from a lot of the customers is the time that they have to spend on the internet you know, to make their reservations. There's some people down there that will spend an hour, hour and a half just to make one night reservation, and that, you know, I don't think that's, you know, very
No.
proper.
Yeah.
No.
That's where to do 1 or 2 nights, 3 nights, it's not bad at all. But to do any more than that, it takes just a little bit of time because you have to put it in your cart and
Yeah.
back out and kind of restart the process.
You're like Dave, and you wanna book your whole you know, you wanna book your whole summer in March. That's,
And
That's
that's
gonna
where
take you-
anybody
that's
that
gonna take you
wants to
forever.
do addition, multiple
I,
nights.
I have a lot of people that come in down there that do that.
I would
But-
assume that if you're
Yes.
a serious camper,
Yes,
and you
Yes.
want certain things, which serious campers do,
yes.
gonna
Regardless,
book-
Chicago, all the big weekends,
Yeah.
they go fast,
Yeah.
whole weeks, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, yeah, so that is one of the big issues that I hear down there all the time, is the time that it takes for them to get their reservations in, and stuff, it's not a very friendly site. I mean, I had 3 today that, you know, was very unhappy, and I had to, you know, help them get through it, but I mean, you know, but
That's where when they do want to do additional nights, because I do get phone calls on that and such, I just tell them to call myself, to call Kim, Doug, anybody that, through the parks office, because on our back end with that, where we can do more things with it, it takes us 30 seconds, and I mean, I could do Dave's whole schedule for the summer, and I could do it in 2 minutes. So that's one of the things I'm
that's all
trying
wrong.
to convey
It
to
needs to be
them.
on the front side, not the back,
Exactly.
the back side, you're
I like
right.
that.
you're
That's
right,
what I'm
you're
trying
right.
to do.
That type of thing needs to go to the front side,
Yeah.
to make it available for them.
Yeah.
And that's the exact thing, is I know they have the capability, so I've been pressuring them with that, and I know that we're not the only one with that issue. That if we can have that accessibility on the back end, why can that not be transitioned to the front?
Yeah.
So I know they're very, very close, because I can do it myself. I just wish they would allow that for the community, so hopefully that's something that they'll get straightened out.
We just have to keep up with them, you know, or else
Absolutely.
look for something else, you know. 'cause-
Yeah, and that's one of the nice things about this, is it is a cheaper option, and it's something that we're not locked into a contract. So although it has been great, especially for our programs, but for the bigger stuff, the golf course, it wasn't the best option, and for the
Well,
campground, it may not
that
be
may
the
be,
best option.
cause I
But-
know there's gotta be software for campsites that,
Yeah.
if somebody is making lots of money off having a camp, like
Well-
Golf Now is making a lot of money off a
Right.
golf.
Exactly.
Which I'm sure there's a camp,
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we'll evaluate here in this off season with
Okay.
the
Anyway.
campground. Yep.
All right. Okay, anyone else have another comment? Okay, a motion to adjourn,
I move.
second,
Adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next meeting, Monday, October the 4th at 6:30.
Probably not be there.
We won't be there.
Soccer section that I host.
Thank you for stopping by.
Tim, will you be in this panel on that day?